Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Red Zone, our very own sports show brought to you by the good people of This is Revolution Podcast. I am your host, Jason Miles. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're so glad you're here. For our returning listener subscribers, and especially our patrons, hell yeah, you are the driving force behind the TIR machine. And without you, we couldn't do this. Also, for viewers of the main show, we will be back tomorrow at our regularly scheduled 6 p.m. Pacific slot. And then, of course, our Saturday morning TIR show returns, where we will be discussing the phenomenon taking white America by storm, black fatigue.
We coming for you, nigga.
Or is it niggas coming for you? Should be a great show. We'll be joined by Professor Toure Reed. So make sure to get your popcorn ready. Quick reminder that TIR is listener-funded programming. If you enjoy watching all these shows and have the means and feel so inclined, become a patron. You can access champagne rooms past and present. Join us for our patron-only call-in segments. Join us for movie nights and also get our patron-only essay series, The Crisis Papers. Issue 7 is up now, and patrons at the Teenage Anarchist level and above receive the magazine layout free, while every patron gets the text-only version. If you aren't sure about making the monthly commitment yet still want to support, there is a link in the description to purchase the Crisis Papers wherever you are watching or listening to the show. Click that link and make sure TIR can continue to bring you this level of irreverent, hard-hitting, quality programming. Now, the NBA playoffs, is it a gift to the WNBA? What? The New York Knicks might be the last major market titan to fall in the chase for the NBA Finals in 2025. The Knicks, now down 3-1 to the Indiana Pacers, could be setting the stage for either an epic comeback or an NBA Finals consisting of the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. Who saw that matchup coming? Especially after the Luka trade, right? The flyover finals for hardcore fans of the NBA will be an intriguing matchup, but will the mid-market showdown avert eyeballs from the television screen? Is this a scenario just what the doctor ordered for the WNBA? Since 2024 and the emergence of young superstar Caitlin Clark, the WNBA has had record-breaking numbers in viewership with 54 million unique viewers across 6 TV networks, all-star voting up over 538% from 2023, and merchandise sales up 601%. Could the matchup in the men's NBA Finals get more people tuned into the WNBA? Have Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese created a modern-day Bird versus Magic rivalry that is just more intriguing? While the men's game is flush with white European talent, there are no dominant white Americans like Caitlin Clark. Let's be completely and uncomfortably honest here. There's nothing we love in this country more than a proxy race war fought valiantly in the arena of professional sports. The Clark versus Reese matchup provides us with just that. In the era of content mining for the attention economy, coupled with an old-fashioned race-based narrative of superiority, the basketball court becomes the battlefield for supremacy. Central casting couldn't create a better feud between two competitors that provides a hungry 24-hour sports ecosystem with chum to feed on. So join us as we talk about the NBA playoffs and more. And joining me in this raucous ride, please welcome my co-host, Magadocious Rex.
Hello, everybody. And that was beautiful. A proxy race war in the sports arena. Because the sad thing is, even in the year of someone's Lord 2025, people still got a hard on for it.
They have a fucking hard. I was sitting here, reading some news about the NBA playoffs, right? And I was thinking, because I drove up from my daughter's graduation, and there was a lot of playoff talk on Sunday when I was driving down, I guess, back to Mexico. And there was more talk about the WNBA than there was about the finals. There was a little talk about the Knicks kind of crapping the bed, if you will.
Which is what they're going to talk about, right? Like they're going to make a big point about how the big market Knicks, which has put together a phenomenal team, just can't keep up, with the Pacers. And like somebody already said in chat, I think it was Red, the Knicks are just getting boat raced, both ends of the court, on the glass, and like I was telling you before the start of the show, I think this is Tyrese Halliburton's coming out party.
Yeah.
Right? Like he has always been like a good to great player, I think. Right? But we're seeing him dominate the court this postseason in a way you don't see a lot of players do, And I hated watching him he was buckets in the whole series against the Cavs. Claw can attest to that. We both watched the same games and we're heartbroken by this, and it was Ty Halliburton, right?
He had a triple-double.
Yeah. Right?
He's just that good.
And if you dig into it, the guy, like AAU teams are sponsored by like pro athletes or big organizations. He played on an independent AAU team and was like hardly recruited to go to college to play ball.
Where did he go to school again?
I couldn't fucking tell you. And it's no disrespect to Ty Halliburton.
No.
Even watching the Cavs get just pushed around on the court. Iowa State, thank you, Mr. Crash. The more I'm tending to agree, Halliburton is probably, if not top 10, top 20 player in the league. Easily. And the thing is, he is a lot of fun to watch because he's got amazing court vision. Like just the last game against the Knicks, did you see him move the ball around? Like it blew my mind. He's able to just like think 2 steps ahead of everybody. He always gets the ball to an open, teammate, and he's putting them in positions to where they're going to hit open shots, and it's just, you don't have a lot of guys like that, that are able to see the court that well and just, dominate from end to end. So like it's been something to watch. Now, it also, like I was saying, before the show started, like I knew Indy had a good team, especially in the second half of the season. They kind of like turned it on, but like I didn't know they were this good. Like I honestly had no clue because they haven't looked vexed or troubled at any point in any of the series they've played this year, or in the playoffs. They're out there just playing basketball, and it's something. Dude, it's fucking something to watch, right? I mean, the Pacers got shit for pulling in Pascal Siakam, and I think that's worked out pretty well, and I'm interested to see who they end up with in the West. Like I really, like you already said, I think the Wolves are cooked. They're down 3-1. And let's be very clear here. This finals, no matter how it unfolds, makes me really happy because Adam Silver is going to be living the fantasy I have for Roger Goodell, going through a Detroit-Cleveland Super Bowl.
Small market.
Oh, but here's the thing small markets. And he's just like, in public, he's like, they're 2 phenomenal teams. Oklahoma City's playing with a bunch of homegrown players. Indianapolis has some homegrown with some great trades and bringing in the right people. And then he like leaves the podium and he goes to his hotel room and he's like, what in the fuck?
There's no stars to the level of like, it's not LeBron on a Cleveland Cavs, right? It's not, there's no big name superstars in these small market teams. These guys are becoming superstars, but as far as household names outside of real deal basketball fans, it's just not there.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm okay with it. Right? Dude, Red, there is nothing more I want to see. And we've been saying this for years. Yeah. Jason and I both. We just want to see a Cleveland-Detroit Super Bowl. and have like the camera pan up to the skybox at wherever the Super Bowl is being held, and watch Roger Goodell just sitting like this.
Especially because Detroit, and we'll touch on football. I do want to talk more basketball, but especially because Detroit doesn't have super big name talent, and a lot of people still hate on Jared Goff.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Goff hate needs to stop. I think Dan Campbell brought out the best in Jared Goff. We can talk about Sean McVay being this young head coach and the quarterback whisperer and all that shit. But Goff has played his best football in Detroit under Dan Campbell.
By far. And wasn't he an MVP his second or third year in the league when they went to the Super Bowl?
I don't believe he was the league MVP. But he was like a finalist. He put up a lot of big numbers that year.
Crazy numbers.
But like when after the Super Bowl, right? Which, I mean, granted, that was a shitty Super Bowl. I won't disagree.
That and the Giants and Bills, I thought was a boring Super Bowl into the fourth quarter.
Right. Like, and I get it. It was boring as shit. Pats won. But
and they tried not to.
Oh, they really did. They snatched victory from the jaws of defeat.
They were getting mollywopped on defense. Man, that Rams defense beat.
But the thing is, it's after that season, you already heard the boo birds like, we got to get rid of Goff. And when the front office, which is quick under Les Snead, which is quick to pull trades off, they're like, fuck them picks. I need names. Like you're not going to play your best football when your boss is like, yeah, I mean, you're here now. Isn't that what counts? Like, but like it's probably, I mean, and you're not in LA anymore, right? You're not in the second largest market in the United States where people just constantly shit on you. Like, you're in Detroit, who loves their athletes. They fucking love them. And short of you being found in a seedy hotel room in Hamtramck with a dead hooker in your room, you're safe. Like, you get, they're like, DUI. Oh, that sucks, man. Wow, just take an Uber next time. You got caught with meth. You got to quit that shit. My brother died from it. Like, that's the shit. That's the way it is in blue collar towns.
Give you a pamphlet.
Hey,
pamphlet,
hey, you making good money? We'll get you into rehab. Like, it's shit like that. But like, you don't get caught with a dead hooker. That's bad.
I do think Jared Goff, if he can get the Lions to a Super Bowl, not even a victory, to a Super Bowl, he could definitely get caught with a dead hooker. Definitely get caught with a dead hooker.
Dude, if anybody on that Lions team after a Super Bowl gets caught with a dead hooker, half of Detroit's rolling out to make sure that body disappears, and he's got 50 different alibis. Like, that's just how it's going to be.
Like, what do you mean, dead hooker? He live streamed it.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He was with me at my mom's. Okay, we were having dinner, and I did a Make-A-Wish thing pretending my son had cancer, and he was over here.
I do believe, and I do want to touch on that, but let's get back to the NBA playoffs and the fact that did you see the Knicks making it even this far?
Yeah. Let's face it, they are one of the better defensive teams in the league, and we've seen, if you can slow down, especially with how wide open the game is, if you can disrupt team shooting and rebound well off the defensive glass, you can go deep. And that's something that the Knicks were doing well until Indy showed up at the arena. They just were like, nah, bitch, this is us.
It's a wrap for you.
And like, the thing is, like, I like the Knicks team. They need some work. And here's the thing, like, we're hitting kind of a critical mass point in basketball, because do you know what's not going to happen this summer? You're not going to see a lot of player movement. Most teams are up against the second cap or the first cap. A lot of them are pushing the second cap. You're probably going to see a lot of teams shed payroll just to make sure they're not into that space where it starts to get prohibitive to carry those payrolls. Like the Celtics, they maybe have another 2 seasons before they got to move either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, right? or try and find someone to take Porzingis. You know, they have 3 players making over $40 million, which is insane to me. You know, like Chris Fedor is reporting out of Cleveland that the only 2 players on the entire Cavs roster that are untouchable are Mobley and Spida. That's it. Everybody else, you know, call Kobe Altman. Let's make a deal. You know, like we're getting to a point where it's going to have to be the OKC model, right? And I think OKC set up for a very long time because they've homegrown the guys they need to, right? Maybe they swung and missed on a guy like Josh Giddey, you know, the guy they sent to Chicago this year.
Yeah.
But they've got enough homegrown guys that they can kind of control for 3 or 4 years. And they've also stockpiled so many picks, right, from other teams that now are not doing very hot, right? So they can find themselves winning an NBA title and still have a pick in the fucking lottery here in the next few years, you know? And the thing is, they can package some of those picks and bring in, you know, a name or maybe a piece that they need and still have picks to home grow guys, right? And the thing is, every like 6 or 7 years, maybe a little longer, you might have to blow it all up and go into that again, right? You know, that kind of down cycle. Dude, I'll fucking take that. I would rather have a couple bad years, draft well, and have some developed guys than do what the Bulls do every year, which is fight for mediocrity. And maybe they make the play-in and then get blown out in the first round. You know, like, come on, dude. OKC versus Indiana, the final, the clan will rise again. Jesus, Steve.
Welcome back, Steve. Welcome back, Black Steve. So do you think the era of dynasty is over then in basketball?
No. I think it's if you lean more into player development, and I know that's harder, like if you're picking lower in the first round. But the thing is, isn't that why you pay a lot of people a lot of fucking money to like get into data analytics and scouts to go out and find these motherfuckers? Like, that's your job, bitch. Like, do your job. That's it. Right? Like, so fucking Halliburton went to Iowa State. You cannot tell me that you can't find players at like Wichita State, fucking Florida Gulf Coast. You know, like there are guys that ball. Like it's like when the Summer Olympics were there, Jason, and you know this was it South Sudanese team ends up putting 5 guys on NBA rosters after it. Bro, get off your ass and stop just watching college basketball. Get overseas because you got some guys that you could draft, stash in Europe for a year or two, bring them back, they're game ready. Bam. And then their clock starts. That's when their clock starts, not when they're drafted. It's when they play their first NBA game.
I mean, basketball being the international game that it is, you don't think there's people watching these international players, or do you think they're strictly looking at Eastern Europe still because that's just where the game has been for so many decades?
Dude, I don't know.
The pro game is morphed to an Eastern. Sorry to break it, but it morphed into more Eastern European model.
I just don't know, right? Because I figured I know we got a lot of like billionaires who like I love sports growing up, like Matt Ishbia down in Phoenix. Like I've always wanted to own a team. Okay, dude, cool, but you're not a fucking scout, you know. And you're meddling with the roster put together the fucking shit show that was the Phoenix Sun season this year. Like that was atrocious to watch. And you arguably have 2 of the top 10 players in the league on your team. Like you should not be this bad. Right. But I still think, Jason, there's a lot of fucking very like nationalist type scouts. Like the best players are here in the United States.
Gotcha.
And we have to strictly go based off that. If we find a gem in Europe, that's like icing on the cake. Dude, with the way that professional basketball is now, you got to find players everywhere because you're expected to fucking win, you know? Like in this day and age where I can click on something else and my attention's diverted away from your sport, like you're losing money that way. And let's face it, that's all that drives these fucking characters anyway. You really think Adam Silver won't say shit? We won't ever hear about him saying shit if this turns out to have a lot of eyeballs on it, and not just in Oklahoma City and Indianapolis, right? Like, just if it does good numbers, you know. But yes, we know, Nuri, real football, obviously. But and it's also a year in flux for European football, Jason. Like, there's a lot of upset fans of like the big teams that are like, what the fuck happened? But yeah, you know, like I think scouts need to start being smarter and actually, you know, looking out past the United States and college ball more than they already are, right? And you're not just in Europe looking at players. Like, dude, I'm going to Africa, I'm going to South America. Like, I'm going to do what the Spurs did in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? They had
get all those international players.
Had people everywhere.
Yeah.
And those guys were ready to, they played at home for a couple years. And when Pop pulled the trigger and got him in San Antonio, they were ready to roll. And what did they do? They just fucking won for like 20 years. I mean, you know?
Yeah. What year was that? You said, is it the 90s or early 2000s?
It was like late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah. You know, oh, dude, Steve, you are not kidding. Sacramento fucked up with Fox and Halliburton, hands down. You know, I think, like I said, man, Halliburton is having a big, like, here's me to the world party during this entire playoff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody that has two functioning eyeballs can sit here and say he's not a top player in the league.
Can I ask you this question?
Of course.
Is he a perfect example of why maybe the one and done model in college doesn't work? Because he played a couple of years. There are some guys going back after the combine.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with the G League still not performing the function of being a feeder into the NBA, which I think it should. Like, I like how some of the NBA owners are purchasing clubs saying we're not sharing with other teams anymore. You know, this is going to be for us to develop our players. Right. And I think that's smart. I also think there should be more continuity between like parent club and that in the G League club. But like, I think one and done for some players works.
Mm-hmm.
A guy like Ty Halliburton maybe just needed more minutes on a court, you know, to get noticed. So it makes sense for him to stay a little bit longer in college, you know. But, you know, there are some players that don't need 2 or 3 years. Like, they're ready. They just kind of have to do it because, you know, they don't want to go overseas and play ball, but they have to play that 1 year college ball, you know. And I think it just depends on the player. Some dudes need seasoning, you know. They have the tools. They just need the coaching in the minutes. And that's all well and good, man. You know, I hate that we knock kids for staying in college longer, right? Especially now. They're not losing money now, right? They're not missing out on a paycheck. They're getting paid. So why knock this kid for going back to school to maybe work on some things that he needs to work on to make him more attractive to get to the next level? I don't see the issue with that. But a lot of these fucking talking heads are like, oh, he's shooting himself in the foot, getting out of the draft, going back to school. What's he got left to prove? Well, maybe he realizes every time he drives the ball, he always goes to his right. He needs to work on it going to his left. Right? Like, why not?
Well, Miles Bird is going back to San Diego State. Did you see that?
Yeah, dude. There's a couple dudes from Kentucky that put themselves in the draft and then pulled themselves out. You know,
what do you like? Yeah, that's the. I was okay, so I get San Diego news, so I've been hearing a lot about Miles Bird all year. And he declared for the draft. I'm sure they said maybe he'll go in this round, maybe he won't. And he didn't put his name in the portal. He went back to San Diego State.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. San Diego State's a legit program now, basketball wise, anyway.
But I mean, he could have got more money elsewhere. It's San Diego State.
The thing is, why not stay? Because like the Mountain West has been pulling 2 or 3 slots in the tournament now. They're on TV. It's not like he's leaving the University of Maine.
Oh, look, I'm not arguing for just go chase the bag. I'm saying in an era of bag chasing.
Yeah.
Right. He is part of a generation of people that only understand that. Does it seem odd to you?
Not to me, only because like you got to think he's still in San Diego. It's not, again, he's not in Maine, right? He's not in He's not in Vermont.
So you think he's just laying pipe, is what you're saying?
Well, most likely, yeah. Well, if he's into, if he's into white women, Maine and Vermont might be the.
Oh
the way
man,
to go.
if he's into white women, San Diego is kind of the place to be.
But
or big booty Latinos.
But the thing is, it's a sizable market that has an up and coming NIL collective, right? Why not stay? You're going to get the largest chunk out of that. Yeah, he get paid more, but every school don't have the snow bunnies as TSU got. Steve, you are hitting on all cylinders tonight, my friend.
Steve lives in San Diego.
You know what? But San Diego State is like they're gearing up, to go into Pac-12 light, or whatever that we're gonna call it. Can't call it the Pac-2 anymore. So they're gonna have to start running and gunning money wise, and they have the ability to do that. So
I think that conference. I don't know about you. We can shift focus now to college if you want. What is it? What is it? Fresno State is proposed to go in.
It's essentially almost State. Half the. It's like 5 Mountain West teams.
San Ho, but yeah. Texas State is the school that I think people are sleeping on because they don't realize where Texas State is located. It's like right outside of Austin.
But the thing is Texas State has already a couple of the Conference USA teams already said that they will not be leaving. In the American Athletic, because the thing is they have a TV deal that actually pays money. The Pac-12 light doesn't have shit right now.
They haven't announced it yet. They said they have the TV deal.
They don't have shit. When they say we have it, we're just waiting for the right time to announce it. They don't have shit. Come on, man.
Sound like me talking about this election that's coming.
Dude, yeah. But you know what I mean? You lived that life. You lived in like promotion. You know how that works. Jason, we don't have this. What are we gonna do? Press release.
Tell them you have it. Just
press release saying we have it. We'll announce it at a later time. Like Jesus Christ. OKC is just unloading. Unloading the way that erection, Jason's gonna unload later,
You just wait. This erection is coming. You just wait. Don't cross your arms and make the erection go away. Just make a hopeful face.
But like, especially, we got to think that the playoff format's changing and it's going to expand to 16 teams. Like, I think that's a foregone conclusion. It's just how that's going to be set up. The Big Ten and the SEC are both saying we both get 4 automatic bids out of the 16. Yeah. So between the two conferences, they would get half the field, with the Big 12 getting 2, the ACC getting 2, right? Which takes us to 12, and then 4 out large. That's right. They have an outline for a TV deal, just like that erection prairie. That's right. But there's a lot of pushback. There's been one floated where the 5 conference champions and then 11 at large, which I think, honestly, if you want to do this right, you take it out of the FCS playbook. All conference champs get in.
Conference champs get in.
And then you have the rest of the bracket filled out large teams based on rank in the polls. That way there's no committee. And then all the games are played on campus until the final. Just do it that way. That system has worked since Division I split. So, dude, Steve, the SEC can sit there and say that they're going to leave all day long. But the thing is, if they don't have at least 2 other conferences roll with them, it's not going to work. I don't think we see the Big 4 shear off until the doomsday that Jason and I already talked about extensively, and that private equity money starts rolling in. When that happens, when we see that happen, that'll be the death of college football as we know it.
I mean, I'm watching closely, and I was actually pretty stoked. One of the editors at Damage actually sent me an email to talk about the piece and said, maybe you should do a follow-up. Let's watch what happens with Trump, because Donald Trump is getting wooed by Tommy Tuberville and Nick Saban.
Mm-hmm.
And as everybody talks about
that's gubernatorial candidate Tommy Tuberville, who's running for governor of Alabama.
Don't remind me. That's depressing.
No, what's depressing that he's a fucking senator now. How does it? What? Oh,
yeah. I mean, we've had
Alabama,
ex-players become senators, but Bill Bradley
Alabama.
is
What did
way
you
different
fucking
than
do?
Tom
What did you do? Why did you have to? You had him self-contained at Auburn,
Brady.
and then you let him go, and he takes his nonsense to Cincinnati for a couple years, shits the bed there, and then decides to retire. And then you bring him back, and you're like, oh, we're going to vote for him for senator. And now he's reintroduced into the entire nation's fucking bloodstream with his just debilitating idiocy. Why didn't you just keep him down there? If you actually gave a fuck about the rest of us, Alabama, you would have all ponied up $2 or $3, bought him a nice house in Muscle Shoals, and told him that you'd give him a pension just to stay there and not talk to anybody.
I hope my friends from Alabama are watching right now.
I hope so too.
I think they would really appreciate this. Clip it, give to their friends. I think the thing with the NIL, it's not just NIL. What's really pissing college coaches off right now is player movement. Because a lot of these guys coached this old-fashioned way of hollering at people, threatening people with playing time.
Dude, I read an article about coaches bitching about offensive line development.
Okay.
Because that's like the unit and the group of players on the field that you have to have all on the same page at one time. And sometimes that takes a year or two to kind of get a whole unit to gel. You don't have a year or two now.
You got 5 minutes.
Right? Maybe 4.
You are losing players in the preseason, in spring ball. You're losing players in season, right? Matt Sluka, can't forget, in season. You didn't give me the money you promised me. I'm 1,000. First 4 games is really important to watch now.
Yeah. And, here's the thing with Sluka. Like, I get it. But if you're going to dip, do it in that first portal or in the spring portal. Don't fucking quit on your boys in season, man. Because you got to think. I mean, granted, the Rebels, it paid off for him. It fucking did. Because I
think they were going to do that regardless.
The other dude came in and balled out. Like, he was a lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
Yeah, it's never good to have traces of Tuberville in your system.
I agree with you that, from a team sports standpoint, I didn't dig it. But again, I think we're dealing with just a different type of person.
You're 100% right. But like, just for me, man, like, I joined the Army as a kid. I played team sports my whole life. Like, I don't give a fuck how bad I'm hurting. I'm not quitting on the guys, man. Like that's just me. Right. One, it's like Matt Sluka, bro. I hate to tell you, you like had a worse completion percentage than Richardson in Indy. Like you weren't exactly lighting the world on fire those 3 games you played in Vegas, and the team was better when you left. Like, that's not how you build equity, bro, to go chase that money. Like, what coach is going to be like, bruh, your team got better when you quit? Like,
we'll see. But like, they were 4-0 when he left.
Yeah, but dude, I'm going to tell you right now, those first 3 games, UNLV won with defense and special teams. And then the minute he fucking left, their offense started clicking. Like, it was the
crazy. Kid that replaced him, I can't remember what school. He came from New Mexico, I think. They replaced him. I watched him play a couple games. He was kind of fun to watch. Don't know if he'll make it to the next level at the quarterback position.
You know what? And that's okay, man. Like, we got to think there's 7 rounds in the NFL draft.
Yeah.
Most of these guys aren't getting drafted. There's other opportunities to play now, which is great. I think that's phenomenal for guys to go to Europe and play or play in the UFL or in Canada. But, it's okay, man. Because you can live off of being a college fucking legend. When's the last
now
time?
You really can.
Yeah. When's the last time Brian Bosworth held a job? Right? Like,
I mean, he did play longer than people think in the NFL.
I know.
And he was a first-round draft pick that signed at the time a big contract, and he fell into Hollywood.
But again, he still lives in Oklahoma, right? And he could walk into any car dealership, and you really think you're going to tell him no? You're like, you get the Boz, that fucking 2,500, and you get it for him now.
Yeah, and take a picture with him holding the keys.
That's right.
Please. Yeah.
No, you're not getting a commission. You're doing a service for the boss, bro.
I believe in my soul, even though that poor man's entire playing career, college, high school, and pro is one game against Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
I still think that man can do what you said in Norman, Oklahoma. Anywhere in Oklahoma. You can go to Oklahoma City.
Bo could do the same thing in Auburn.
Yeah,
like it's just that's just how it is, man. And that's okay. Like it's like that with sports around the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter the sport. It's just you have players that capture your attention, that you fall in love with, and they can go home and be fine. And that's all right, man. I don't give a fuck. For me, that's community taking care of community. Okay. The Boz lit the world on fire for fucking 3.5 years in college in Norman. Get the man a truck. Okay. Like, I'm okay with it,
But is he one of those like all steroids guys?
I mean, this goes back to our conversation about Ken Caminiti.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Could have had a serviceable Major League Baseball career. He exchanged living past 50 to have a phenomenal back half of his career. Right?
He had a couple 50 home run seasons, Mac.
Mm-hmm. And he, again, in the back half. Right? Yeah. So, and he ballooned up. Right? Like Barry Bonds, the way he did steroids, allegedly, Barry Bonds' legal team, do not come after me. I said allegedly.
We want to get him on the show, dude.
Okay. Well, that would be rad as fuck.
That would be so rad.
It looked like he did this through a gradual, like it wasn't just like he left Pittsburgh, went to San Francisco for 2 years, and then showed up looking like the Incredible Hulk, right? It was kind of a progression of muscle building.
Mm-hmm.
Caminiti finished 1 year and then showed up shredded like a superhero, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck about all these sports writers who are so sanctimonious now. Like, we can't let steroid users in the Hall of Fame. That would be a horrible thing for the integrity of it. Bitch, you watched Ken Caminiti do that, and then wrote about his prodigious home run power that fucking very year. You hypocritical fucksticks.
I don't like that whole thing because for years Pete Rose was a piece of shit because he gambled on sports, and he gambled on baseball, which is the ultimate sin. And now everybody's gambling on sports and baseball.
Yeah, see, I didn't give a shit about the gambling. I gave a shit he bet against his own team. That's the shitty part.
He claims he only bet that they would
win. Okay. And Pete Rose says he said a lot of fucking...
He was also a player coach at the time.
Yeah, so come on. All right.
I'm ready to start, coach. No, not you.
Coach, you had to get like 6 shots in your knees just to get out of bed. Yep, man in first base. Don't worry about it. Okay. Sabo, make sure you put the ball right here, okay? I can't move.
People forget that he was a player coach at the end. Just picking the lineup. Coach, why are you pinch hitting with the relief pitcher? The guy's got opposite field power. You didn't see him in the warm-ups.
Yeah, the pitcher's like, I haven't hit since high school. Yeah.
Like Pete Rose, not in the Hall of Fame. And this is how I think of the Hall of Fame also. And I don't think this is a hot take. I don't give a shit about the Hall of Fame. I don't think a lot of players give a shit about the Hall of Fame. Maybe at the end of your career, you might give a little bit of a shit.
Yeah, I think at the beginning and like in the midst of it, you don't care, right? But I think when those golden years, like when your bat speed slows down and you do like the Miguel Cabrera, and I don't like piling on him because he was so fun to watch for so many years.
So consistent.
Those last 2 years were hard to watch. When you think about Miguel, the Triple Crown winner, turning into a guy who batted 240 and could like slap singles occasionally, Yeah, dude, I'm not surprised, Snackway. It's the thing. I think if you extend the relevancy of your sport by a decade, I don't care if you spent no, you deserve the honor.
Like, we have to look. These people act like these Hall of Fame discussions to me are as ridiculous as GOAT discussions. They're stupid. I don't care who the
Yeah.
greatest player of all time was. You know why? Because in my lifetime, I got to watch great football
Mm-hmm.
and baseball and basketball. And now I get to watch great football
Yeah.
and baseball and basketball. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to sit here and go, hey, is Shohei Ohtani greater than Barry? I don't care.
I mean, the thing is, when we talk Hall of Fame, they should bust it up by eras because the game changes so much, right? Like, we're not going to see another player like Shohei. We also know he's not pitching his whole career either. There's no way. Not if he wants to have a long one. But like, you can't compare like the first class of Hall of Famers to the guys that have gotten in recently, right? The game was different.
And you like, we live in a social media era where all we hear is, let's take it back to basketball. Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jordan in that era is still a focal point of discussion, more so than the era that preceded him, because the era that preceded him is the era of like tape delay playoff games. So a lot of these pundits don't even remember, unless they're really old,
Yeah, and
what
then
basketball was like before Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, or even before kind of the Lakers Celtics rivalry.
yeah, I mean, and the thing is, most of the people that are driving all this shit
Mhm.
didn't even get to watch Jordan play.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, he would have been trash in this era because he played against these guys, or I don't care about Bob Cousy because all those guys dribbled like this. It's like, dude, why does this have to be a point of contention for you and even a point of discussion? It goes back to the original thing I said in the intro, that we just mine everything for content, and kind of mind-numbing discussions become important in the sports world. It's like, look, there's a lot of things going on in the sports world that no one's talking about. I've yet to hear anyone talk about players on the same planes as these deportations. Yet to hear anybody talk about that.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. No one's going to bring that up, right?
Mm-mm.
Like, Stephen A. Smith claims to be a hard-hitting journalist still, and it's like, bro, you haven't written or broken any news of any substance since like 2001. You know, like, you are a talking head.
Just a talking head. There's nothing interesting coming out.
Yeah, nothing. It's all, you know, when he piled into that whole Ryan Clark, Robert Griffin thing.
Oh, that was and for those that don't know, that was the dumbest thing in the history of dumb Negro bullshit. Caitlin Clark fouled. She fouled Angel Reese, right?
Mm-hmm.
She fouled Angel Reese. They don't like each other.
Oh, obviously.
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious. And you know what? Good. I've heard people whine for the last 10 years, 10 plus years. These players are too friendly. I like the good old days where they burned a cross on a black guy's lawn.
Yeah.
That's how you really knew the game was for real. Okay, so now you have two people that literally don't like each other. They are of different ethnicities. It plays so well into the way everyone's worldview plays out. Robert Griffin III, who is married to some very seasonless white women, said, well, they don't like each other. It's a hard foul, blah, blah, blah. And then Ryan Clark had to be like, well, you know what? RG3, you married a white girl. So how dare you talk about black women?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like RG3 said, you know, another good thing happened today is this white woman fouled the chocolate heifer.
You got to do the Uncle Ruckus voice if you're going to.
I can't stand these nappy-headed bitches dribbling the basketballs. No good negresses. There's nothing as good as Caitlin Clark. I bet she smells like lemon pledge. She may be a manly woman, but I'd much rather take that bull dyke over that black chocolate heifer any day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, it was yes, Prairie, he did.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
You know, but like it's just, they blew it up, and then Stephen A. Smith gets on his show on ESPN and just starts adding to it.
Oh,
You know,
dude, and then everybody, as a black woman in America, I carry the burden of 400 years of unpaid child support.
well, like for me, it happened on a basketball court, right? Like hard fouls happen. And again, 46 minutes. That's right, Tony. Yeah. I mean, I think we've all figured out there are no red lines here. We just where it's truly a communist show where there are no borders. There's no lines.
Yeah, stateless. This is a
A stateless show.
show.
You know, but like when we get into like what I hated is that there are people that get on social media and start saying shit like Uncle Ruckus just said to like inner fucking comments. Like, what's the point in that, man? Like for me, give yourself a nice handle. Go ahead. Give yourself a nice handle on the internet. You should have to put your fucking name on it.
Oof.
And then we'll see who fucking runs their fucking mouth. Oh, well, any dream. I mean, I really feel that way. You know, I appreciate you watching the show. Like, I think it's pretty rad that we have some female representation here. Right. I can tell my friends that, yes, there is a woman that does watch the show. It's either Dream or Jason's mom popping in, you know. Jason, I did not beat you. Mom, we'll talk later.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
working.
not true at all.
But like, I think, you know, we'd see a lot less bullshit on the internet if you had to actually back up what you said with people knowing you said it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when I say shit, my full chest, you see my fucking face, you know what state I live in. You know, if you don't like it, come on down, bro. We can talk about it.
That's
Or I
how
will.
you know, I had a conversation with somebody recently about that. Like, I don't like that, you know, people can say the most outlandish bullshit, but and then the internet culture is kind of a coward culture.
Yeah.
Because you don't really have, and I'm like, whatever, dude. You're gonna say, at this point, I kind of don't give a shit. But when it came to that bullshit, the Caitlyn, the foul, I was like, if these women, if these basketball players can't have a competitive game, which again is what people have been begging for. LeBron's friends with everybody. They don't have that competitive spirit like Michael Jordan when he tried to break the leg. It's like, dude, why do you want people to be so evil for you to enjoy a fucking game?
Yeah. And like, these players know, all right, whether we want to acknowledge this or not as a society, these players train better, they take better care of themselves, and they realize their careers can be cut short like that. It's done. This league, if you want to stay in it, whether coaching, working in the front office, even getting into officiating, there are some ex-players that are currently in the G League right now as officials.
I didn't know that.
Who are working to become officials in NBA games. If you want to stay in the league, it's about relationships that you cultivate while you play. Right? Why the fuck are you going to like yearn for the days where Michael Jordan's trying to break people's legs? And here's the thing. Michael Jordan's peers don't like him. He might be one of the most hated people to ever step on a fucking basketball court. Right? I never thought Michael Jordan played because he wanted to be liked. His own teammates fucking hated him. Tony Kukoc, Steve Kerr, Pippen, even fucking Rodman said he was a colossal asshole.
Well, the thing that they made a joke about on Saturday Night Live where he's taking the money from the security guard on the game of quarters.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, the thing is Michael Jordan is one of the best people to ever go to old Michael Cheese Eyes Jordan. That's right. You know, the thing about Jordan is he may have been one of the best people to ever step on a basketball court. He's a detestable human being, right? His divorce showed that, you know, how he fucking treated his children. The fact that, you know, Charlotte was elated to get a professional basketball team again, elated to have a guy like Bob Johnson own it. And then he sells out to Michael Jordan, who literally just uses it as a piggy bank. right? He's never fielded an even mediocre team. You know, he barely invests in that fucking organization, and it shows. You know, I mean, it's just, I don't know why. Like, football's a rough sport. I genuinely don't think 99% of the players that play football are actually trying to hurt somebody that they're making contact with. I don't think that.
Yeah.
You have 1% that are absolute psychos, like Bill Romanowski.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, but for the most part, these guys know I could be working next to him. You obviously have not seen the documentary called Space Jam. Is it true he perfected space travel? You know, like, but like, you know, especially in the days of player movement, that guy that you just like fucking sucker punched, he could be a teammate next year.
Yep.
You know,
that's what people want. They want the days of like filing police charges in football games for illegal hits.
No, man.
Go watch the hit that took Jim McMahon out for that. I think it's the 86 season for the Bears, where he gets thrown on his shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like the play was well over. I don't think people want that, because when that happens and they talk about these ruffians that play the game and they're just thugs, they're just thugs. This game will be better if we had more white people in it that were tough and hard-nosed, and they brought a lunch pail to work. Even though they're $1 million guys, they bring lunch pails for some reason, even though they should have stopped bringing a lunch pail in the 4th grade. But I want them to be 4th graders bringing a lunch pail and a hard hat to their job as millionaires. Do you see my idealized vision of said white players? We need more of them.
You know what I miss? I miss how SMU looked in the 50s. That's the type of team we need. They wore button-downs and ties to class. That's the player we need.
They still couldn't read, but they were white, and we could imagine that they could read. And it made us feel better about being white and then shitting on the reading black guys that tried to get in because they could read.
Tell these fellows to pull their pants up. All right, I'm tired of seeing their drawers.
Dungarees everywhere, dungarees.
The sad thing is, there are people in NFL front offices right now that think like that.
That are saying that right now.
Yeah. Johnny, you've been a scout since '54. I think it's time to retire. No.
No one knows the game like me. If they just brought back student body left.
Toss right. Johnny, we don't run the option anymore. What? You're forward pass?
What in the year 4000 bullshit is this? What's next? Robots?
You know what I'm happy about in this league? No black quarterbacks. Johnny, there are a lot now. What?
I thought that Mahomes guy was just some kind of Mexican.
He's black.
What the shit? I thought it was Mahomes.
I thought he was French.
What do you mean CJ Stroud is a Negro? He's not a Puerto Rican, Nicaraguan or something?
He's not white?
Shit.
CJ stands for Charles Joseph, correct? No, Johnny. No.
Cleophas. Geronimus.
Oh, man. Tony said, don't say Doug Williams. Starts eating Jason.
Have I heard a nigga sing? Have I heard the wide-nosed gospel of that?
Oh, my God. You know, but like, I don't want to see dudes get hurt, man, because like,
no,
they're living my dream, right? They're living a lot of people's dreams. Cravion Javion. You know, but like, I know how quickly these careers can disappear. I don't want to see that for any of them, because whether people want to admit it or not, from them being like 6 years old, they're putting in a ton of work to put themselves in a position to play this game professionally. I don't want to see them lose that.
No. And we're watching great sports. If you would have told Macadocious Rex in 1997, hey, by the way, the WNBA going to be a big league. You'd be like, I can dream too. I saw League of Their Own.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to be a millionaire too.
Yeah. You go sit down, Grandpa.
Yeah. But I'm glad it is. I'm glad that the Rockers might be potentially popping up as a franchise in Cleveland again. Like I think the growth of this sport, and it's not just like a spot for women to play. It's good basketball. It's fun, right? And the thing is, the WNBA has personalities on the court.
Thank you.
That you can get behind.
Thank you.
Right? Aja Wilson in Vegas. I think that's a perfect city for her to play in. She's got like kind of like that big, shining, kind of aura about her. She's very like forward facing. Kelsey Plum played in Vegas, but she's in LA now, which there really isn't a better market for her. You got Paige Buckets in Dallas, right? Angel Reese, we've seen, is a marketing machine. Caitlin Clark, obviously. Like there are players that you can identify with and glom onto that you want to watch.
And they just don't have to be hot.
No.
And I think that's kind of a nice thing about it. Before, let's just be honest, like women's sports. Like, I don't what did Don Imus say?
Oh,
like 20 years ago, nappy-headed hoes. Oh, those some nappy-headed hoes.
Yep. But
that comment's dead. You not just because it's politically incorrect to say that, but because I don't think sports people think that way anymore. That they would want to say that.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, we're seeing like one of my favorite sports, rugby, like the United States domestic league, is on ESPN now. Do you know how happy that makes me? Because they were airing their shit on Facebook, which I haven't had since 2017, so I had to like pirate, to watch the matches. It's on ESPN now. Like we're seeing growth in sports that maybe weren't wildly popular 5 years ago, right? But now I think a lot of it is the international, right? Like rugby's huge overseas. It trails only football, right? But we're seeing a growth here in the United States, which I think is very important. And a lot of that you can trace back to Perry Baker and Carlin Isles, who played rugby sevens, and they were the fastest motherfuckers ever on a rugby pitch. Like Carlin Isles was an NCAA sprinter and was like, I don't want to go to the Olympics. I want to do something else. So they're like, hey, you ever played rugby sevens? And he's like, what the fuck is that? It's rugby with 7 people on a side. A lot of space for you to hit, dude. Every time he touched the ball, gone. Fucking poetry in motion. Right. Same thing with Perry Baker.
I think
yes, in sports betting's a here. Yeah, we did talk about
betting I think, look, we can't sit here and lie and act like a lot of this growth doesn't have to do with the fact that people are betting
on everything.
Like
You'd be surprised how many people love the crack.
Like it's real. It is very fucking real that shit is addictive.
One of the largest bets placed on DraftKings was at 2 a.m. on a Polish ping pong tournament, like a professional ping pong tournament or table tennis. Excuse me. I want to use the proper lingo.
Don't be a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Fuck. What do you think? You think it's a hacky sack or a foot bag?
Get this. Come on. $500K. Somebody in the United States plopped down on a Polish professional table tennis tournament match.
How much?
$500,000
on a what you play when you're bored at a bar or a community center.
Yeah, at a retirement home with Nana.
Yeah,
that one. Riv, they lost their bet, so they were out $500K.
Jesus Christ. I hope that person was just up from like hitting a crazy parlay earlier that day.
He smashed a heater, all week, just hitting.
Just was like coked out of his mind. Was like, fuck, everything's coming up Millhouse today. Woo!
Let's go, Slavage. You got it.
Fuck. I got this. Oh, fuck. Whoa! Oh, come on, man.
You go with the backhand in that situation.
You're not playing Forrest Gump out there.
But yeah, people bet on all kinds of sports that they don't even know the rules to. They just like,
I don't have Polish ping pong bet money. Sorry.
Like I don't have the ability to get into sports gambling. One, I couldn't live with myself losing like $25 on a bet, right? But like I don't get the hook. And I don't mean that like in a disrespectful way, because there's a lot of things that just hook people in and you don't know how. Mm-hmm. No, if you're gonna put $20 down on a team to like be a millionaire, you put it on the Panthers or the fucking Jaguars. Okay, like that's who you throw down.
Did I tell? So I don't know if you know this. You can make crazy future bets in Vegas, and a very good friend of mine, he never leaves home. Never leaves home. He goes to Vegas, goes to the sports book, and he finds out, oh, you can put these crazy future bets. And he goes, he's a baseball fan, and he goes, I think the Astros are putting together a good team. And 2 years prior to the Astros winning the World Series, he put $100 on the Astros to win the World Series that season.
No shit.
And for whatever reason, the casino was sending him emails as the Astros were winning to cash him out. Because he won a really large number, like $50,000 or $60,000. And they were like, look, we'll give you $10,000 right now. Even if they don't win, we'll just give you 10 grand. But it was all going to his spam. So he didn't know. He was like, if I would have saw that, I would have took it. Why wouldn't I have taken it? So because it went to his spam, unbeknownst to him, the Astros win the series.
Good for him, dude. Good for him.
Shout out.
One time, the spam folder actually came in handy.
Actually worked.
Right? Like it actually came. It came through in the clutch. Thank you, spam folder, for that man not getting an email and missing out on $40,000 to $50,000 extra dollars.
He also I do. Well, you don't know who he is, so that's fine. He also like buys storage units and stuff like that because he like sells stuff at the flea market. Mm-hmm. One of the storage units he got was a man who collected comics from the 70s to like 2010 when he died. Yeah. A storage unit just piled with comics.
Dude, that man needs to just walk out and go like, I feel like Mary and J-Lo. I have a feeling they'd bump into each other and fall in love. Like
sometimes
dude
that
can't
lightning
miss.
Does strike twice.
Dude can't miss. That's like me. That's all I do is miss.
Did your friend by chance come across the four?
Yeah, no shit. Did he find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow too?
Well, he spent thousands of dollars because he didn't just get the comics and then sell it. Because you don't know what you have, right?
Yeah, obviously.
But the guy kept everything in the plastic that he bought. Mm-hmm. And he said, I don't know how this guy, because remember the guy was dead, so you couldn't ask any questions. He goes, it looks like the guy just went to a comic shop with his arm and went like this, because it'd be like 2 or 3 copies of one thing. And so when he would see what he would have, he'd go through it and be like, oh, first appearance of Spider-Man and Punisher. Mm-hmm. Or sorry, first appearance of Punisher and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
First appearance of this person. And he had the big ones too, like the first X-Men. It was just a crazy find.
Yeah.
So if you really want to make money, you have to get it graded. So whenever he would save money, he would pay to get it, which is not cheap to get stuff graded.
No, to get things graded and slabbed, you're looking at almost $80 an issue.
And he had a storage container full of stuff, so he would have to go through everything. And then also too, if you are going to sell it, to sell at the height. So like when he had Deadpool stuff, it's like, do I wait till the movie comes out?
Well, the shitty thing is the 90s ruined collecting for people who like wanted to, I guess, build equity in their comic book collection, because you had the relaunch of the X-Men, you had the death of Superman. People like hoarded those things, and it, I mean, you got to think it almost drove Marvel to bankruptcy. The first time, they ended up going bankrupt because they overextended themselves by buying like Toy Biz, their own printing and distribution centers. Like that killed them, and that's how Ike Perlmutter was able to buy them out of bankruptcy, which was
the worst name I've ever heard a real person.
Yeah, and he was during Trump's first administration, he was supposed to become the Veterans Affairs Secretary to privatize it.
Perlmutting sounds like some horrible thing
Perlmutter.
you do to a woman.
Oh yeah,
when you're entirely too intoxicated.
Yeah, you let him Perlmutter you.
You made him Perlmutter. You know what that is?
It's just eating my butthole with a spoon. I don't see what the issue is here. Like...
After 7-Eleven chorizo from Mexico.
Oh yeah, like you.
I didn't tell you. I told you. I didn't tell you what happened.
You ate 7-Eleven chorizo and shit your brains out.
I didn't tell you what happened.
No.
This really happened. This really fucking happened.
Oh God.
I was at 7-Eleven. I don't have a lot of money. And they had chorizo there. And I was like, this can't be any different than, this can't be like 7-Eleven sushi.
Except it was like 7-Eleven sushi.
Dude. So I made the most bomb chorizo and eggs ever, right? I eat my 7-Eleven chorizo and eggs, go about my day, and met up with Ben, and we walked like 5 miles to this burger spot in Rosarito, and walked back. And we were supposed to be going to the neighborhood get together. There's like a mixer every month in the neighborhood at a different person's house. And he was like, oh, Jay, I'm not going to go. I'm going to go hang out with another friend at this bar. I'm like, well, I'm going to go to the neighborhood mixer. Also, my neighbors are like, oh, did you know there's like a chick that lives here? There's like a black chick that lives here. We told her to come to the thing. There's a black dude that lives here. Hope you're not offended by that. I'm like, no. I mean, you didn't say the N-word. You just said you didn't talk like a sports pundit.
Yeah. You didn't talk like Jim Rome.
Yeah. All right, clones.
Yeah.
Black on black love. Thanks for the vine, Jim. So I'm like, okay, cool. You're not going to be there to potentially cock block, and you're going to take the other younger black guy to not be there to potentially cock block. So this is going to be great.
Yeah.
I got in my car, and the moment I sat down, my colon said, remember that chorizo from 7-Eleven?
Like it's actually talking to you. You're like, what?
Yeah, what? It was like, and public restrooms are not an abundant thing here. And I think the word you people say is sketchy. So I was like, look, man, I don't know how long I'm going to have to sit down, but I'm probably going to take a shower afterwards. So I get in my car and I'm like, I just have to get home. Now I am between 25 to 30 minutes from my house because there's only one way there. I have to take the main boulevard. And it's not that there's stop signs, it's that there's road construction going on right now. And there is now not a police checkpoint, but a military checkpoint in front of the street that I live on. So I'm weaving it. It's like Days of Thunder. I'm weaving it out of the lanes because my asshole is talking to me like I'm Captain Kirk. We're giving it all we got, Captain. We can't. The shields can't hold.
I mean, that's the worst too, because your stomach's like, it's not even like gurgling. It's like,
Yeah, my stomach is going.
it's
if
like
you
it's
fart-
it's that Himalayan like chant. Yeah, Kush said it best. Gastrointestinal system. Would you like to play a game?
The game was called "Is There Change in There?" Was it a fart that you left change, or was it just air? We don't know. Find out at 8. So I am clinched in a way that I've never been clinched before in my life.
Probably sweating a lot too.
Like a stuck pig. And okay, so for those that don't know, I live on a dirt road that is like an off-road racing thing, and I have a Hyundai. I don't have a cool car for the dirt road I live on. I have a Hyundai. I'm riding like the Dukes of Hazzard on this shit. Just some good old boys.
That's Jason's colon singing this to him.
Every other part of my body is like, you're not gonna make it. Mac, at one point, because there's like these, you have to take the road up the hill at like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'm flying up that shit. My car's like this, getting airborne. I fucking turn. I don't even park at my parking spot. I just pull in. I run in my house, get everything off, and I sit on the toilet, and it's, right? It's an explosion. But I'm like, I made it. And then I look, because I live alone, so I can shit with the door open. And I look, and there's just a trail.
No.
There's just a trail
Oh, no.
that shot out of my pants.
Oh, no.
As I'm sitting on the toilet, I just hear, "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
No. Oh, no. That's horrible.
You know what's even worse? My mom is listening, and this is what she said. Yeah, there you go. True freaking story.
Oh, no.
Right?
Jason, I'm so sorry, dude. That's the worst.
Man. So, of course, you can't just I have to disinfect my floor because I'm all sad and
you gotta burn your jeans because you blew the ass out of them running to the bathroom.
I couldn't believe. I'm like, it didn't even hit the socks.
Dude,
Kind of weird.
Prairie said, Jason, I don't think you could have waterboarded that story out of me. Prairie's like, I'm taking that one to the grave. Oh, man.
It like real talk, dude. So I felt, thank God I live alone.
Yeah.
And so I, doing all this rushing, I get in the shower and disinfect everything and, walk over to the get together, and the chick didn't show up.
Well, honestly, I think that's for the best, right? You've already had an emotional day, right? Tony, I'm with you at this point. Just get your body used to the microbes, dude. I mean, that's the thing, bro. Like, that is some shit that happened to me when I had dysentery. Right? I had a whole infection. You had some dodgy 7-Eleven freeze open eggs.
I did, because have you ever been poor and things that when you have, okay, let me pull back a little bit. Payday hits, I probably have, after bills are paid, $20 to last me the next month. right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you have that, payday $20, you feel a little wealthy. You're like, you know what? Yeah, supersize that for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna treat myself.
Yeah, I would treat myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make that a double ice cream scoop person.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't have money and you walk into 7-Eleven, you start going, oh, they have pizza here?
Yeah. You start doing like the analysis of, I know I'm gonna pay for this later, but I'm really hungry now.
Like, I don't think Ben understands the reason I have stuff
Dude, I
is
think
because I'm so used to not having shit.
your
that I
SOP from now on needs to be, if I eat dodgy 7-Eleven food, I stay in for the evening. And maybe you Winnie the Pooh it. You just wear a shirt, no bottoms, like when you were potty training your kids. And you're like, okay, it's the colon just said, Jason, what's up? We're going to have a meeting soon. And you just go pop a squat on the toilet. Maybe you lose feeling in your feet, but you know what? You know what, Jason? You are not shitting all over the floor.
Dude, I felt so bad. And now if I ever because look, if I ever go in 7-Eleven now, it's like my one treat is that there's cherry Dr. Pepper at 7-Eleven.
I feel that's a safer bet.
That's what I usually go in there for, right? That's what I go in there for. And it's the women that do the laundry. They don't know where to get it because I won't tell them. So like they'll be like, "Can you get us some more of the cherry Dr. Pepper?" Like, "Oh, sure, no problem. Can my clothes get done tomorrow?" And so it's like a bargaining tool.
Oh, dude, yeah. No, like one of my former soldiers, like on my second deployment, like we had a bad run with dysentery. We just couldn't stay clean enough,
Oof. Was it water? Was it just simple as water?
No, it's just we were just dirty. We didn't have access to showers or anything for 4 months.
Oh.
And you can only baby wipe so much shit off. You know what I mean? Like dirt and germs off your body. But this dude got it real bad, right? And he's on a machine gun team. As they wanted, at least we got more cherry. Yeah, you might want to come in with like a whole case of it. Be like, yo,
and cigarettes, just all kind of shit.
But like he's on a machine gun team, so he can't just like dip out and sit this one out. And he's like, I'll go. He's on an IV like 2 minutes before we step off, and we hit this village. And it actually had a lot of people living in it, right? And we're just like passing through. We're letting them know we're not here to like fuck shit up. We want to go get Taliban, not you guys. And you just hear Freeland like, oh God. And then you hear like if you took a water hose and put the pressure all the way up and you shot it against the wall. And I looked over my shoulder, Jason, and he's like projectile shitting against this wall. And just like there was this wall that ran along the edge of the lane, like his forehead's on it. He's just bent over. You can tell he's in pain, right? And what blew my mind, there's cell phones all over Afghanistan, but they look like the old Nokia ones.
Mm-hmm.
But then we saw all these kids pulling out digital cameras and just start taking pictures of them. And this dude's like, no, please stop. No, don't do this. Right? As he's like dying right now. And the thing is, it's like these older Afghan dudes, like the imams in the village, like came up and like put like barriers up for him and like chase the kids away. And they brought out this whole pitcher of water and like a sponge, and like our interpreters talking to him, and they're essentially like, hey, just use this water, you want to clean that out, use the sponge. And then this dude, he's just like, thank you so much. And he had another bout, where it just like so like we're pulled up in a defensive posture for like almost an hour, just letting Freeland go through this horrible agony. And he cleans up, and you see the imam talking to the Terp, and the Terp kind of looks down, and I'm like, what do you say? He's like, he doesn't want a sponge back. So right? So our Terp felt horrible because he's like, he sees Freeland like double over it in pain and just, and he's like, Corporal, he doesn't want his sponge back. You can keep that. And Freeland, dude's just like, I don't want it either. I just want to go back.
He's just, it's such a, I don't know the right word. I live alone and I was embarrassed.
Dude, it's traumatic.
Yeah.
Like shitting yourself at any point in your life, whether it's at the very beginning, like even my kids, when they were really little and they were like potty training and they didn't make it to the toilet in time, like they looked embarrassed as shit as like 18-month-old little people. Like it's got to be embarrassing when you're 80 and you just can't control it anymore. Like it's embarrassing shitting yourself.
It's not.
It's
a party.
No.
What I really want is, because we were so strong in the first 46 minutes of this show, I want someone to be listening to this with their friends. Like, there's this really good sports show. You guys should check it out. And then the moment we like hit that third rail of ridiculousness, and it's like blaring in the office or the shop, or wherever the fuck someone's listening to it. I want people to take pictures and send them to us of the faces of the other people around. Of what the fuck did that guy just say? He shit himself?
Wait a minute. They were like talking about the advances in the WNBA, and like now the host is like copying to shitting his pants. Yeah, duh. What kind of show do you think this is? We're not paid professionals. We're not Stephen A. Smith.
If I was Stephen A. Smith, I would totally tell that story.
Oh, dude. If I had my own national show, and like say it's on like Sirius XM, because I feel like that's the place where you get breaks now, I can say whatever I want. Like, no one's checking up on me, except to let me know, hey, ratings are down, Mac, because you talked about shitting in your pants, just like your boy Jason did. Like, this isn't the fecal hour, okay, guys? Well, speak for yourself. Yeah, maybe, I mean, for Jason, it was a fecal hour.
It was a straight up mission. It was a mission to get home. I was like, please, military people, don't fucking stop me, because I can't answer. I was afraid to open my mouth. Fear of a turd falling out of it.
Do you know who understands I'm gonna shit my pants if you don't let me go? Military people of any country, they get it, because they've been in that situation before.
There's no bathroom out there either.
Oh, dude, then they know, because they're probably taking an ammo crate, digging a hole and shitting in that while they're fucking checking cars.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, when you're in the middle of nowhere, that's the most comfortable shitting thing that you can have. Like, I took foam and put it on the edges so I didn't get like splinters in my ass. It was fucking phenomenal. Okay. They're like, Yankee! And you're just like, no! Oh, God. Jason, I'm sorry, dude. I'm so sorry that happened to you.
Bien. ¿Qué es eso?
He says he has to shit. Do you know what raw boo-boo is? No. It's kicking ready to exit right now.
It's again, not my finest moment, and probably saying that story on air is a reason why I'm single.
Or there are people out there that are just like, you know what? It's refreshing to see someone open and honest about the struggles of eating gas station food, because we've all done it. Everybody has done it.
Everybody's done it.
I don't give a fuck if you're a vegetarian. You found something to eat.
Yes.
At the 7-Eleven. And I don't mean the big, like Wawa or Sheetz or Buc-ee's, but you stopped at that really weird looking 7-Eleven. Mm-hmm. You eyeballed that hot dog, and you're like, man, it's 1:30 in the morning. This is the only place open. Do I do this? And your stomach's like, fuck yeah, you do it. You were just at a show for 4.5 hours being a dumbass. The last time you ate was lunch, and that was like a bag of fucking Cool Ranch Doritos. Put something in your guts. And you're like, you know what? You're right. 7-Eleven hot dog and guts. I'm going to eat you.
And
then,
it's not like the hot dog. It's like the cheese-filled sausage thing
yeah.
that's been rolling on there since 11 a.m.
And you first bite into it, and you're like, "There's not a lot of give here, but if I just gnaw a little bit, I'll be able to get it in there to chew, you know." And the bun's kind of dry. Maybe you drowned it in like mustard or ketchup or whatever else.
All of it.
Yeah, you know, just to add a little moisture to this thing. And you're like, you know what? I can get past this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you eat the whole thing and you're driving home. And you're like, I got 30 minutes. You know what? I'm actually going to listen to the band I just watched till I get to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 10 minutes out. And then you hear it. And it's your gut. And you're just like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, your colon starts talking like, hey, pal, I don't want this in here anymore. It's coming out.
Your colon's like a 50s announcer. Hey there, Mackie.
Hey there, pal.
Boy.
So you went to see Dropkick Murphys, huh? Hope you had a good time. There's going to be a stream of raw boo-boo coming out of you in about 3 minutes. And you're 5 minutes from home.
You won't be able to talk to that fancy dame again.
Yeah. If she saw how you were down, she wouldn't think you were very hot, would you? Ha! Just sweating. I think everybody knows this actually happened to me. I'm sweating. I'm just like, oh, God. I'm driving my beat-up Buick Skyhawk, my first car. And I'm just like I'm clenched like Jason was. Every ab, just my butt cheeks, my sphincter, you know. And I got home in just enough time. No trail of shit. But, dude, I was there probably a good 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I was Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber when he's on the toilet.
Your feet are out like this.
Yeah.
Your feet are you kicked your feet out.
Yep. Having full body spasms. You know? And then, like, you're doing, like, the bent over, like, you're just like, you're exhausted. Mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted from this. And you're like, I think I'm good. And you stand up to wipe your ass, and your stomach starts doing the Himalayan throat chant again. And you're like, oh, God. And then you're back down there, and it just... You firebomb that poor porcelain bowl.
Oh my God. It was just there was raw boo-boo in parts of the toilet I didn't even know I touched. Like, how did it get on top?
Yeah. Why is it on the ceiling?
How
did this happen?
Yeah, how did it get there?
You know? It's like the floor I get, but why is it on a light fixture?
Yeah,
I don't get it. You know,
again, there's nothing worse because I walked. You don't understand. I walked 5 miles. Fine.
That's what did it, man. The thing is, it's sitting in your gut waiting to be burned for fuel. And then you're like, let me walk. So your body starts burning it. And then it finally starts breaking down and your body's absorbing it. And your body's like, oh, no, my brother.
Yeah.
Like it's Dikembe Mutombo finger wagging in your, you know, like it's going through it at that point. Your body's processing it.
You know, and you're having the best walk. I was like, we were like, oh, dude, you know, we forget how beautiful the city is that we live in. And there's so many cool places to eat. I get in my fucking car.
Your 5 mile philosophical walk turned into a 30-minute death race to the fucking toilet.
Death race 2000.
Yeah.
I was totally David Carradine.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. There is again.
It was the Running Man track. There's just explosions going off everywhere as you're trying not to shit yourself.
There's nothing worse than the feeling of helplessness, and you look around and go, I can't shit anywhere. I was like, I probably could pull off on the side of the road what everyone would see, and then it's not like there's other black people that people could forget me with. It's like, oh no, you're the black guy that shit on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's what one of the things I appreciated most about Afghans. If they had to shit, dude, they just pulled off, fucking dropped trowel, just did a squat, did their business, used a rock to clean their asshole, tossed the rock, and then got back in the car and dipped. You know, didn't even care. It's common. You know, and they would always make fun of us. They're like, "Why are you going to hide to take a shit?" You know, like, well, because it's a private act, dude. I don't want to shit in front of you. You know, like,
this is for just me.
I'm very vulnerable when I'm taking a dump. I'm in a country where a lot of people are trying to kill me. Okay, like I
want to ask you this before we go. You've been in serious relationships.
Okay.
You got 2 kids by one woman. So
yes.
You had to really. Someone pretended they cared.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a phenomenal relationship that I torpedoed. I'll be the first one to admit that. You know, I didn't know how to handle my shit coming back from all that, and I was for years a shitty husband. I was absent a lot, not even just like physically, but mentally. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, when I saw it starting to affect my relationship with my very young kids, I was like, I got to get my shit together. You know, like I had to, because I didn't want to be that dad. I didn't want to be that one, you know, because I saw it a lot in the military. You know, these guys like, I got 4 kids. Well, do you know their names? 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know, like, I want to be that guy.
That's why you're dad of the year here.
What are we talking about, dude? You raised a college grad. That's fucking awesome, man.
But Harry, listen, serious question. Is there ever a time, and this also goes for people in the chat, this also goes for people listening to the show on the audio, the people that are going to watch the show later on YouTube, is it ever a time that you would feel comfortable to shit in the bathroom while your partner is in the bathroom?
No. Mm-mm.
Will you pee in the bathroom with your partner?
No.
You won't even pee?
No.
Really?
Dude, I'm vulnerable.
To attack?
Yes.
I didn't know you were with a ninja or a vampire.
How many times have I fucking said this to you? You prepare for the worst. Right? Period. So I prepare by locking the door when I go to use the facilities. Okay? I'm not shitting in front of anybody. Jason, if I'm shitting in front of somebody, I have dysentery again. And God knows I don't want that again. Okay? And as far as urinating, I only have one free hand. How am I supposed to defend myself with one free hand?
I've started, this is going to sound even worse, and I'm sure there's going to be a plethora of fucked up comments about this. But I'm really conscious about having a very clean bathroom.
You know, I think this is just armchair psychiatristing you, but like I think you might have a small little skosh of like OCD.
It could be, but I want you, like, if you came to my house and you're like, Jay, I gotta drop a deuce, I'm like, you know what? Welcome, and it's gonna smell nice in there. And
I don't doubt it. I'm gonna feel bad at shitting in your bathroom. Even if it's just normal shit, because I know you put the hours in to clean it.
Coach looks at
autism. He might have a little bit of autism,
Coach. I don't like when you pee, you stand up and pee, you're getting it in there. You're not missing.
Jason, you do not sit down and piss, do you?
I've been sitting.
Oh! Oh, why? That is like the one advantage we have is we can stand up and piss.
Prairie says unsubscribe. I know a lot of formerly incarcerated individuals that are like, you come to my house, you got to sit when you piss because the piss splatter hits the floor and and I've had women talk about the dudes they live with and piss splatter on the floor, and I saw the splatter, and the splatter was the same shame I felt when I saw the turd in the fucking kitchen. So I'm like, maybe if you sit, more piss will come out, and you'll be a more efficient pisser. I think so. You know how you pee first thing in the morning?
I'm aware.
Dude,
yes.
Dude. My daughter got me this really nice, like a, I don't want to call it a day planner, but it's like a journal, like a leather bound journal.
Okay.
Dude, sitting and morning pissing and
while
writing
jotting down your thoughts. Oh my God.
Cosas que hacer.
Oh. I had this weird thought. Shit gets bad here, and we actually have to circle the wagons and get ready for the thing. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go get Jason. And now, I think I'm just gonna keep you down there. Well, we'll pull you out when things calm down. Yeah, Tony, I'm with you. Worst revolutionary combat cell and knitting circle ever. Raisin salad, milk frothing, pinky out. Now squatting to pee. I didn't know. Like the frothing, the carrot raisin salad. I could look past that. I can. You're my boy. I would take a bullet in an extremity for you. But peeing while sitting is my red line. And I'm not in Obama. So when I say that's something we don't cross, sorry, everyone. This is the last episode. Prairie already unsubscribed.
If you guys don't want piss splatter on your floor, it's unavoidable. It's unavoidable.
If you can't control your stream, then go in the shower, but never bend your knees to pee. We didn't throw off the crown to bend our knees every morning. Thank you, Prairie.
Oh my God.
I kneel for no man, including myself. No gods, no kings, no masters.
John says, so what's your dribble containment strategy? Sit to pee, John. Sit to pee. Sit to pee. Sit to pee. Sit to pee. Sit to pee.
Oh, Jason. Look, our revolutionary base will have decent grub, clean latrines, and we will all have our own base slippers. I mean, Kush, honestly, they're rolling out worse ones than sit to pee. All the big time black commies got together and they're like, all right, we're all on board here. Jason Miles, what are we doing with him? And you get someone that sounds like Uncle Ruckus from the back. You stole his ass in Mexico.
Oh, sit to pee ass, fruity ass,
frothing milk.
Oh, milk frothing ass, pinky out, green tea drinking ass.
Jason's never beating those dad bods small rock accusations.
Damn, Drea says, I'm not judging you, Jason. I sit to pee too. Oh. Look, I'm telling you, it is you think clearer, and you have an emptier bladder.
Tony said squats to pee, but shits while running. Damn it, Jason.
You guys are just jealous because you don't sit to pee.
Jason's like, I have a life hack that all of you are too proud to use.
Life hack.
Jason's probably got a squatty potty in his bathroom too.
I don't. I've heard about them. They sound fabulous. I don't have one. I do have a portable bidet that one person said is like a super soaker for your ass.
I mean, a bidet I'm all down for. Like, because, you got to get in there sometimes, so a bidet I'm all for. But I just read that RFK Jr. also sits to piss, claiming there's a health benefit, and so begins the rightward shift. Great. Jason, the next Jason article is going to be why I drifted right.
Yeah,
Thank you, RFK.
The left doesn't understand piss dribbles and why it keeps you single, and it just wanted to fuck hot chicks. There's so many hot chicks on the right, and Latina chicks are drifting right, and I just wanted to bang one because they're so big.
Oh, we don't need to get into that because the shit that you've been popping up on Instagram. Why? Everyone, it's been insane. Fucking sane. And he's like getting attached to this love after lockups show.
I've been sending
so many like reels of this shit. And it's the one girl that's just like, let's be honest, she used a lot of filters. She catfished this particular former inmate who he's a good looking dude. And then he gets out of prison. He probably knocked the fucking brakes off the poor girl a couple times.
He tore that
right?
pussy up.
But the last clip he sends me is her like, we're in a relationship. And he looks up and was like, and I'm just like, Jason, why? I feel like I know this woman at this point because this is
it's sitting back.
So many.
Look, anyone that is my friend, if we are friends in real life, I will send you things I think are funny. I don't send the same thing to everyone because I don't know. I might send you something that I think is funny, like that's fucked up, it's super offensive, I hate you, I'm gonna tell the internet that you fucking suck. But I think I know Mac pretty well.
I'd say.
And I sent him something. For those that don't know, Maury Povich is married to Connie Chung. And when you think of Maury Povich and Connie Chung, you think, oh, they were a news couple that probably had missionary sex. You didn't know Connie Chung is for the streets. Here is a real conversation between Maury Povich and Connie Chung, his wife.
The news.
Yeah, okay.
You became a big star.
Well, no, I mean, whatever.
And you kind of messed around with stars.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't mess around with stars.
Yeah, I think you can name a few.
No, I'm not. No, I did not. I did not mess around with them. I knew them. You messed around with them. Okay, shall I start talking?
No.
It's in the book.
Yeah, it is. But
Warren Beatty. You know what my sister said about Warren Beatty?
Yeah.
Damn, Warren Beatty smashed your chick. How mad would you be if Warren Beatty smashed your chick?
Late 70s, early 80s. I'm not mad. Now? Fuck yeah, I am. After Dick Tracy, I don't want Warren Beatty anywhere near anything. That guy sucks.
Warren Beatty smashed your chick. And then you brought her on the fucking talk show, and some people in the comments like, this is Will and Jada level.
Oh, dude, yeah.
But he's so calm about it. Props to Maury for being like, yeah, sometimes Warren Beatty fucks your wife.
Dude, I have a feeling they had like a weird open marriage.
You think so? That's even more weird.
Yeah.
Neither one of that, dude.
Dude, they both made a ton of money with a syndicated talk show. They both got their start in journalism. So, they were broke for a long time until they established themselves. They got the talk show. They made a shit ton of money. What do people with money do? They have weird fucking relationships. They really do.
But this is so, like, listen to her. She's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, him. Don't bring up.
Maury, it was 77. Okay, you were on assignment. I needed that Warren Beatty dick. I had to see what all the hubbub was about. This was the 70s. He was hot then. And the sex was good. I had my salad toss for the first time. And, kind of, it was different. I can see why the young people like it now. But at the time, it wasn't for me. Well, what about now? Oh, now, yeah, absolutely. Toss it. Just please. We would probably have more sex if you did it more, Maury.
Damn. That's so. I would be
Yes,
sorry.
Every woman who came to California had to go through him. It was like an immigration system.
Did he just make an Asian joke to us?
I'm fairly certain Connie was born in the U.S.
It was an immigration system.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
Maury Povich.
That is passive aggressive.
Oh.
Because they've been married for are they divorced or are they still married?
It says his wife.
Well, dude, they've been married forever now.
Ever.
At this point, it's just like, listen, I know you took some dick. And he threw pipe down. He did.
Is this where the whole "you're not the father" shit came from? Because Connie did that shit to him.
I mean, who knows? Again, these are two rich people that do rich people fucking. I mean, this is I'm
pre-AIDS. Somebody else brought up a good point. The Prairie brought up a good point. Pre-AIDS fucking too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And the pill. Oh, Warren Beatty was balls deep in everything. Connie Chung right there. This Connie Chung that's like $1 million is still like, I'd hit that. Connie Chung in 77. Oh, fuck me running.
Yeah.
Dude. Connie Chung in 77? Come on, dude. Let's see if we can find a Connie Chung picture. Connie Chung, 1977. Let's see if we can.
It's just like,
oh shit!
You found one?
There is pictures of Connie Chung in
Let's see it, man.
1977. Oh, the internet! You are undefeated. Connie Chung would have got it. She definitely would have got it.
It's when you send the picture and just put smash underneath.
I would yeah. I think you'd smash Connie Chung.
Dude, if anything, just to say, oh fuck yeah, Connie.
Oh yeah, Connie would get it.
Yeah, when I invent the time machine, that's what I'm doing.
This is the face right here she made to Warren Beatty when she was like, I've came 4 times, Warren. That's enough.
Yeah, I'm very sensitive right now.
I'm gonna go back to Warren.
Like Connie gets up to leave, and like Raquel Welch walks in. She's like,
fuck, right?
Yeah.
Oh, this is look at it. Look at dude. Look at Maury. This is Maury and this is Connie. He's grinning because he thinks he won. He has no idea that the pussy he's eating tastes like Warren Beatty's dick.
That's right. I hope Maury didn't go down on her when she got home because she's just getting.
Totally did.
Oh man,
did.
He's
said something super racist right before he did it.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Look at this. Oh.
It's the face Maury made when he found out Warren Beatty was licking her butthole.
Yeah, I was fucking tossing Connie Chung's salad, and this is the face she makes whenever she thinks about Warren Beatty tossing that salad. Damn. See? Right here? Smash. Smash all day. Look at this. This one right here. Oh yeah, Warren Beatty. Props. He's been with her for a long time.
Dude, yeah, it's been like 40 plus years.
Good for them, actually. I got to give people like that. Look at this picture. All in love.
Gross.
Look at that. Look at that. I want to find an interracial love like fucking Maury Povich and Connie Chung.
I don't know if you want that relationship, Jason. Maybe you can get one. You can get Robert Griffin III's ex-wife.
That dude's chicks are not Connie Chung hot.
No, they're like, we don't salt chicken boring. You know,
Oof.
like
Oof.
Robert
Oof.
Griffin probably has the deadest taste buds in America.
Oh.
Like he's gonna come over your house and eat something you made, and he's gonna be like, "What is all this flavor?"
Tony says I don't have enough boners saved up. That is so mean. Andrea says, did Jason forget we're here? Wait, before we go, let's look up Robert Griffin's wife. Sorry, guys. Robert, this is RG3. I don't know how to spell his fucking name. RG3 White wife. Oh, she is white.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's white.
Yeah, the sun attacks her when she goes out in public.
My God, she's got some huge fake tits, I guess.
Well, I mean, when you're married to Robert Griffin III, you can have somebody buying for you. You know, like
You totally can. But that, you know, what's fucked up is like, did he say, "Hey, honey, we're gonna get some tits," or did she come with the fake tits?
I think he probably purchased them.
Oh, this is such a 2005 butt this woman has. This is such a Maxim magazine. Like,
That is too.
is that AI? Let's just assume it's AI. It's not really. This is real. This is real. Oof. I mean, she's not ugly.
No, she's not ugly.
I mean, if she came up to you and was like, "Hey, Mac, I want to fucking, ride cock tonight," you'd be like, "Okay, thank you."
Give you the best 2.5 minutes of your life, sweetheart.
Exactly. I may
Be
not
like-
be fucking 6'4" Robert Griffin III.
I've been saving this boner up for a little bit, so guaranteed.
Like, but don't look. He's got little beige children. Aw. I don't know. They shit on this guy pretty fucking hard.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
shit on him so hard. I felt bad.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like I don't understand bringing in his spouse,
Yeah.
right? Like,
It's not like he just was like shitting on all black women.
yeah, there's a lot of things you can dang Robert Griffin III for. Like,
Yep.
he's not good at his job. I'll be
Oof.
the first one to admit that, right? But like bringing up his spouse, like, come on, Ryan Clark. I mean, I will. Yes, Stuart, that's exactly what this is. This is beyond the red zone. We're looking at Robert Griffin and his wife.
Like, I think this is more problematic
Yeah.
than RG3 because yikes. No?
Like a 50-year age difference.
Oof.
And I feel like Bill Belichick's the dude that's sliding into senility, and the young woman's going to control all his shit.
All his shit. All his shit. She is pawning every Super Bowl, anything he's ever gotten.
Yeah.
All at the pawn shop.
Yep.
Oh, look at his wife.
She was
Everybody here is shitting on RG3's fucking wife, and no one realizes that he is going to make these amazing athletic children that will be like super soldiers for
Yeah,
sports.
I mean, dude, we're to go back to our our the topic that we've talked about for over a year now. Like Brock Lesnar's daughter just won the NCAA shot put competition at Colorado State.
Did you see? Remember Brandon Jacobs that played for the Giants, running
Mhm.
back? Have you seen the picture of him with his high school son at graduation?
No.
Can I show you?
Yeah, show me before we go.
Okay. What's his name again? Brandon Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs.
Brandon Jacob's son. This is him and his son.
Brandon Jacobs was a big dude too, and his son's is bigger than.
6'4". He was 6'4". His son is 6'8".
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
His son is like, yeah, this is, look at this. Yeah. This is the era that we live in now, which is athletes are mating with Scandinavian giants or Polynesian giants and making giants. He committed to Clemson. He's I think he's a 5-star recruit that people say could be one of the best offensive linemen.
Dude, he gets the right coaching. He could be. He's got the size for it.
And apparently he's like quick. And apparently he has his father's mean streak. Fuck, dude. These eugenic sports experiments that are going on right now. There's just going to be a super league filled with ex-players' kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the future. I don't say that with pride. Oh, this was the woman? What is she?
That's Mrs. Jacobs. That's what that is. That's
She
Mrs.
looks like she
Jacobs.
could just be a regular white, but do you think she could be some sort of Hispanic maybe?
I don't know. I don't look that deep at it. Obviously, they've had a happy and fruitful marriage.
Oh yeah, because look at her, like she's something. That's too tan.
Dude, tanning's easy to get now.
Is it just me that thinks this?
Dude, you're
Okay, this picture right here, she looks like a white lady.
you are thinking too deep into this. You just wanted to show me his kid.
Dang! So he's 6'4".
Yeah, he's a very large man.
Yeah, so look at this. She's got to be a 6-footer.
Yeah, probably.
God. We've done it. We did it wrong.
What are you gonna do, man? I think we're doing okay. We got some good kids. I mean, and who knows? Phoenix might shoot up to be 6'8".
His 18-year-old brother is like 6'2".
See, there's hope for him. You know,
He's taller than me.
I'm a short king, so I'm a short king.
No, I need Jason to do race. I was hella leaning into just over the top race science.
I was getting uncomfortable there. I was like, we're sliding into eugenics, and that is not a place I want to be.
Sliding. I was fucking like
you were sprinting the way you were sprinting with shit pouring out of your asshole.
Eugenics. Oh yeah. Left eugenics my ass. Oh no, I was gonna be a straight up racist eugenicist for 5 seconds.
No, I'm glad you didn't. But we are going now because I have training in the morning.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We're sorry for not being sorry, and I'll see you tomorrow. We are out.